Hey guys, hey friends. Today we are going to talk about the sun in our solar system. I want you to hear some cool facts, quick facts. The sun is the center of the universe. It pulls everything in. The gravitational force pulls everything in. It anchors all the planets, all the moons in place. The sun is actually, are you ready for this? A star. When you look out at the midnight sky, remember I love the sky. This is one of the reasons. There's really amazing, cool things about the sky. You learn a lot about God when you look up there. There are millions and millions of stars in the sky. When it's a clear night, I want you to walk out there and look up there. When you see those lights up there, most of them are stars. There's some planets and moons and things mixed in there. But the sun is a star. The difference between the little stars up there and the sun, which you can see on a bright sunny day, is the distance between the earth and the sun and the earth and the stars. So did you know that there are 93 million miles between the earth and our sun? 93 million miles between our earth and the sun. That's a long way. Sun defines seasons. It defines harvest time. It defines sleeping patterns for every single creature on the face of the planet, even the little bitty animals and the people. The sun is 11,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot. Our oven, when you turn on our oven in our kitchen, it goes up to about 500 degrees. And when I turn it on that hot and I open the door, it like takes my breath away if the air vapors come up and hit me. Oh, it's hot. It's so hot. Sun rotates, yes. It turns like this, but it doesn't turn around anything. The sun is made up of hydrogen and helium. Both of those are found on the planet Earth. But the sun is actually just gas. There's no solid. There's nothing that you could touch or feel, and if you were even close to the sun, you would burn up. That's how hot it is. But it is different than the Earth. There is hydrogen and there's helium on Earth, but it is not the same because you can touch and feel a lot of things on Earth. They're totally different because God created them that way. He wanted us to be here. He wanted life to exist, and He wanted a relationship with you, and He wanted a relationship with me. And that's why that the sun is different than the earth. But that's how big and awesome our God is. When you look at this little sketch I did real quick, the sun is 109 times bigger than the earth. See the earth? It is 109 times bigger than the planet Earth. I think the planet Earth is big. And the sun is so big. And did you know there are lots and lots and lots of stars that are so much bigger than our sun? When you think about how big space is and the sky and all of these amazing things that God has created, you can kind of see how big and awesome God is when you look at all of these things. I want us to look in here and think about Joshua in the Bible. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho. Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. Do you remember that song from Sunday school or church? Sure you do, probably. That song kind of sets up for who Joshua is. Joshua was a warrior, a conqueror. God gave him a mission to take over this land, the promised land, and set up the 12 tribes of Israel. And so he had to be brave and strong. God did it for him. All he had to do is be obedient. They marched around Jericho. The walls came tumbling down, and listen and hear those stories as you get older. Really take it all in. It's really cool. Then there was the Battle of Ai. And then, that's where we're going to be at today, is Joshua 10. In Joshua 10, I want us to hear, this is a day that the sun stood still. Why did the sun stand still? So Joshua was tricked into signing a peace treaty with these people from Gibeon, a town that was really close to Joshua and the Israelites. And the Gibeons told him that they were from a really far town away, that they weren't right where God told him to establish these tribes and take over this land. So they kind of lied to Joshua, but Joshua made a promise with them, and so he felt like he needed to keep it. There were 5 kings in the surrounding area of the Amorites, and they did not like Joshua. They didn't like Israel, so they wanted to take the town of Gibeon over because they heard that they signed a peace treaty, so they thought that they would squish Joshua and defeat him if they could take over this town. This town was a well-established town. It was a really big town for that area. And so the 5 kings and the men came in and was going to take over this town. Joshua heard, and God told him. And the Lord said to Joshua, "Do not fear them, for I have delivered them into your hand. Not a man of them shall stand before you." That's Joshua 10:8. Joshua came in, pushed the kings and these men out of Gibeon. God sent a hailstorm and protected Joshua and this town. And then Joshua prayed to God. He asked God, "Sun, stand still over Gibeon, and moon in the valley of Ajalon." So the sun stood still, so the people had revenge on the enemies. So Joshua prayed a simple prayer. "Lord God, please have the sun stand still, and the moons." Did you know that that has never happened before that day, nor has it happened since that day? But God gave Joshua for almost a full day of where the sun and the earth stood still. Our Creator that created the sun and the earth and the moons can do that. And when we pray and we ask God things and we talk to God, He hears us. He loves us enough to listen. Is God going to have the sun stand still for you? I doubt it. But He might. But He will answer even more powerful things in your life than you even know. And it could be even more powerful than this situation. It's going to be different because you're not Joshua. But I think God is speaking to Joshua that He is the creator of the universe. He was the creator of Joshua, and He loved him. And so He took to heart what Joshua was praying, what Joshua was saying. God is big. God is much bigger than we can even imagine. So when Joshua prayed, it meant something. And so God hears your prayers. He created the universe so that we could look out and see the stars and know how big He is and study all of these things because He loves us enough to have a relationship with us and to teach us who He is and how big He is through these awesome things that we can see. So this week, look up at the sun, not too directly and not for too long, but just kind of see how the sun gives life and warmth and helps things grow. In the next few months here, you're going to see all kinds of things growing. God sustains life, and the sun listened to God. That's how big God is. So the creation is cool, but the Creator is awesome, and God is our Creator. So look at the night sky, look at the day sky, and just know that God loves you so much that He wants you to see how big He is. And I'm praying for y'all. And I pray that you guys really take to heart who God is. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.